Reading for Wednesday, March 4th, 2026. Brooks run free and buds appear. Morning focus, the angel of the sun. Focus intensely on a candle flame until you sense a merging of you and the flame. As the force of new life wells up in me, I hear the far call of my ancient spiritual father, the sun. This is a time for reaching upward, a time for growing toward the sky. As I still draw nourishment from my mother, the earth, I am the link. I am the channel between the sun and the earth. I am the life. Today I will bring the spirit of my connectedness to my Mother. You are love in me overflowing, and I bless you as I grow. Father, you are love in me, guiding me, and I bless you as I strive to know my true nature. Soon my buds will open, and my own young channel of love will be available for you to use to heal the earth. The realization that there is a source of joy and happiness that is beyond the ego is a major step. Then curiosity and an interest in how to reach spiritual goals arises. Belief also arises, which is then bolstered by faith and eventually by experience. Next follows the acquisition of instruction, information, and the practice of what has been learned. By invitation, the spiritual energy increases, followed by dedication and the willingness to surrender all obstacles. Even the decision to turn one's life over to God brings joy and gives life a whole new meaning. It becomes uplifting, and the greater context gives life more significance and reward. One eventually becomes unwilling to support negativity within or without. This is not because it is wrong, but merely futile. Although the journey to God begins with failure and doubt, it progresses into certainty. The way is really quite simple. March 4th. Story time. Today, March 4th, would be a very good day to March 4th. March 4th from the old limited ways of thinking. March 4th from fear and doubt. March 4th from blame and guilt. March 4th from who you are not to who you are. It is tempting and easy to lay blame, but counterproductive. When you blame someone else for your predicament, you disempower yourself and remain trapped in a self-imposed prison. No one can keep you where you do not want to be except yourself. What most people do not realize about blame is that there is no end to it. For every person or situation you blame, there is another one behind it. Blame is problem-oriented, not solution-oriented. When you blame, you perpetuate the very situation you are trying to free yourself from. It matters less how you got into a situation and more how to get out. Great leaders do not need to make themselves right by making other people wrong. While others go in circles pointing fingers of guilt, visionaries are seeking solutions. They realize that the only purpose of a problem is to motivate you to find an answer that will lift you beyond the consciousness that created the issue. There is a new and exciting field of corporate consulting and training called appreciative inquiry. With this method, trainers invite executives and staff to look at what is working in their business, why it works, and how they can expand upon it. Little or no attention is given to what is not working or how to fix what is broken. The direction of inquiry is upward and onward, celebrating strengths rather than analyzing weaknesses. Every time you think of today's date, make it an affirmation. Today is the day to March 4th. How would you feel to drop blame and look toward positive, creative solutions and directions? Say to yourself, I march forth to claim the best that life has to offer. March 4th, acceptance. Spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer really is something we do to ourselves. The only direction we give to this treatment, this prayer, this affirmation of acceptance is that we identify it with the person we are working for or the condition we wish to help. This is neither willing, concentrating, coercing, nor compelling anything or anyone. It is rather a quiet, inward acceptance, an affirmation of our conviction based on the theory that there is a spiritual perfection at the center of all things in the universe, and that there is a fundamental good governing all things. There is one life. That life is God. That life is our life now. Consciously, we identify ourselves with it. Definitely, we affirm the one presence and the one power operating in, around, and through us. Anything that denies the supremacy of good is itself but a mistake in judgment. As we come to open up our thought to a greater acknowledgement and acceptance of the divinity that resides within us, we find ourselves on the pathway to achieving the purpose for which we were created, to express the nature of the divine, the source of our being. Today, I accept my own affirmations. There is nothing in me that can contradict them. I have a deep inward sense, feeling, conviction, and complete faith that there is a power of good governing everything, that it is governing completely, with absolute certainty, without deviation, without exception, and that there is nothing to oppose it, to change it, to limit or circumscribe its action. I abandon myself to this faith, live in its atmosphere, and accept its conclusion. I know that I am a divine being on the pathway of an endless self-expression, and that the eternal God is my host, now and forevermore. March 4th. I am free with the freedom of God. We all wish to be free, but at the same time, we should realize that liberty is not license. To say that we are free with the freedom of God does not mean that we are free to do that which contradicts the divine nature. We are free only in that freedom which God is. The freedom to be alive, to enjoy living, to enter into the activities of everyday living with enthusiasm and interest. We are free to love and be loved. We are free to give full and complete expression to every capacity we possess, provided this freedom harms no one and hurts no thing. This is freedom enough, because if we were free to do that which is destructive, we should ultimately destroy ourselves. And in so doing, we would not only deny, but would defame the nature of divinity itself. Therefore, we always pray, "Thy will be done." But within this will, we know there is a scope enough for self-expression, plenty of room to move around and express life to its fullest. I am free with the freedom of God. Today I manifest this freedom in joy. I think of it with deep gratitude to the giver of all life, and with a deep inward sense of my union with the whole. In my own will and imagination, I see myself free, complete, and perfect. I feel back to the center of my being, which is God, and affirm that His freedom is my freedom. And I include my own physical body in this freedom as well as every activity in which I am engaged. I expand my consciousness and invite new experiences, knowing that they shall be created for me by the same power that makes everything. I enter into this freedom with complete abandonment, with the feeling that all things are working out well, and with the deep and sincere desire to so live that my freedom shall be imparted to others, that we all may feel that we are in partnership with the infinite. I am free with the freedom of God. March 4th. A Course in Miracles, Lesson 63. The light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness. How holy are you who have the power to bring peace to every mind? How blessed are you who can learn to recognize the means for letting this be done through you? What purpose could you have that would bring you greater happiness? You are indeed the light of the world with such a function. The Son of God looks to you for his redemption. It is yours to give him, for it belongs to you. Accept no trivial purpose or meaningless desire in its place, or you will forget your function and leave the Son of God in hell. This is no idle request that is being asked of you. You are being asked to accept salvation that it may be yours to give. Recognizing the importance of this function, we will be happy to remember it very often today. We will begin the day by acknowledging it and close the day with the thought of it in our awareness. And throughout the day, we will repeat this as often as we can. The light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness. I am the means God has appointed for the salvation of the world. If you close your eyes, you will probably find it easier to let the related thoughts come to you in the minute or two that you should devote to considering this. Do not, however, wait for such an opportunity. No chance should be lost for reinforcing today's idea. Remember that God's Son looks to you for his salvation, and who but yourself must be his son. Lesson 63. The light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness. Look into a mirror if you can and say these affirmations. I am holy. I am blessed. I have the power to bring peace to every mind. I am the light of the world. I accept salvation so that I may give it. Myself is God's son. No darkness abides anywhere in the kingdom, but your part is only to allow no darkness to abide in your own mind. This alignment with light is unlimited because it is in alignment with the light of the world. Each of us is the light of the world, and by joining our minds in this light, we proclaim the kingdom of God together and as one. The light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness. March 4th. The light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness. Here's a job you can do with ease. Bring the world eternal peace. For if you allow your light to shine, you'll bring God's love to the realms of time. When you have divine intent, your time is quite well spent, and every mind is made content. We each have a job to do, so now must see it through. When you fill your function with compunction, there's no exemption from redemption. It's easier than it seems. We've already redeemed. When salvation you give, then salvation you live. The happiness of giving light gives us joy of doing right, while forgiveness gives us might and makes us see with holy sight. So even in the darkest night, we see the world in holy light. Lesson 63. The light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one you know as Jesus. This is a powerful statement, is it not? Many of you do not see yourself capable of such ambitious things. Today we want to speak about this feeling of weakness, smallness, and powerlessness you have had cultivated in you through the disciplines in your culture. From day one, when you were a little child, you are told you are not as valuable as your parents. Children are not as valuable as adults. Throughout your childhood, you had this demonstrated to you through punishments and discipline. This began your belief in your unimportance, for the adults in your life did not value you. It is not their fault. They were trained children should be seen and not heard, and that rambunctious and happy children should be contained and controlled to serve society's needs. Well, we are here to get you to truly serve society's needs and see your grandeur, not your patheticness. We are here to train you to tap into the endless creative light that abides within you, so you radiate throughout your life the most magnificent vibration to attract people to you who say, "What are you doing that is different from everyone else?" You are not cowering in the corner like everyone else. You are not medicating yourself into oblivion like everyone else. What is it that you have done? To this, you merely say, "I have trained my mind. I trained my mind to align with love. And that is what has given me the ability to shine this light and to achieve things beyond the norm." It is not easy to take on these lessons when you believe you amount to nothing, when you believe you are limited, powerless, and pathetic. We ask you, how does it feel to believe those things about yourself? Do you not feel inspired and happier after you have spent a few minutes with these words that uplift, strengthen, and encourage? These are the words that your parents should have said to you when you were little, but they did not know. We do not blame them. We merely state what has happened to many of you. You were never encouraged. You were never truly loved and told what you are. That is why these lessons work, because we tell you what you truly are and what you are capable of. You are the salvation of the world. You are the salvation in your world. You transform everything about your world as you begin to use these lessons on a daily basis, on a minute by minute basis. At times when you struggle, you have to dig deep down into the lessons you have studied. You will find one to help you through every situation you encounter, and you will come out the other side seeing. Because you have trained your mind, you do not react the way you used to. You do not need what you used to need. You see, you are powerful creators indeed, and that you have everything you need. You do not need others to become something less so you can feel more. You feel wonderful, and so you do not require anything of them. You do not have to manipulate them or control them to get what you want. You are perfectly happy in your mind and body, and you know that you have a purpose. This allows you to be kind, patient, and compassionate, but not a doormat. Oh no. You are well acquainted with your strength and your ability to direct your mind, therefore your life, toward loving expression and extension, creativity, joy, and happiness. What a gift to give to everyone, including you. I am that one you know as Jesus, and we will speak to you tomorrow. Sorry about that. Fourth, the act of forgiveness. You illuminate the world. Know that each moment that you turn towards this light, each moment that you allow yourselves to remember the truth of you and the truth of others, the moment that you grant forgiveness, ultimately, what you're doing is bringing yourself closer to the Godship. You return to the kingdom, the awakening from the dream that you have been dreaming for so long. The need for forgiveness accumulates as you make your way through this existence and you allow yourself to believe that you are other than the light and you are other than the truth and that you yourself are other than the Christed being. For God only has one creation, and that is the beingness of pure love that Christ is. Each of you are an embodiment of that. And forgiveness is the key that allows the transition from that of the egoic state of mind to occur. Beloveds, if you have children and they do something that you believe that they should not, there is a judgment that comes with that. God does not judge in this way. There may be things that you wish them not to do for their own safety or precaution, but each being in its journey must have its own experience, must come to this realization of itself by itself. You can provide guidance, you can provide love, and most importantly, you can provide forgiveness. From the act of being forgiven, there is unification. You give as before, and the giving as before is the illumination of the Godhood that exists within each being. So when you find yourself with your children and you become angry by their behavior, understand that they are a reflection of some aspect of you that is being shown, that is saying, here is a piece of you that has not yet fully forgiven yourself. When you find the need to punish others, when you find the need to judge others, you're casting darkness on them. You are putting them in shadow. So, what is being asked of you, beloveds, is to allow yourself to see others in the light. Allow yourself to bring peace to your mind where there has been turmoil. You live in a world where you believe that there are indeed things that are outside of you, things that do not belong to you, things that are of the making of another, circumstances where you have been a victim, car crashes, bullying, war, a neighbor who is annoying, who has a dog that barks. Beloveds, were you to truly understand the fabric of existence, you would immediately forgive. And you would allow yourself to see that this is indeed an aspect of you that you yourself are the manufacturer of this entire creation. And all of it is in a house of mirrors that is asking you to take a look in the reflection and to see yourself and to take ownership of the aspect of you that you have believed has been outside of you, has been external to you. You are being asked to know that within the mind that you have been granted, you have manufactured circumstances or circumstance to validate a point of view that you are a victim of the world in which you live. And this could not be farther from the truth, beloved ones. You live in a world of love. For you to come to any situation, beloveds, with a sense of neutrality, there you will find yourself. For the structure of this universe has as its strongest foundation that of a pyramid, a field of masculinity, a field of femininity, a field of positivity, a field of negativity. But then the third and the foundational field, beloved ones, is that of neutrality. And in that neutrality, you will find the forgiveness that leads you to the peace of God. For God exists within this dynamic. You were granted the mind of God to create. What have you created, beloveds? What is your creation? This is indeed a conversation that requires radical self-responsibility, and of that you are more than capable. So bring peace to the world today, beloveds, through your forgiveness. Each act of forgiveness grants more light and eradicates the shadow. Allow yourself today to be a bringer of light and a bringer of truth. And the forgiveness that you seek, beloveds, is within. As you forgive yourself for each notion that you have had that you are other than God, that each being that you interact with is other than God. In these moments of granting forgiveness, you have granted yourself love and you have granted yourself peace. Allow your hearts to be open wide today, beloveds. Each and every day, each and every moment. Take the time throughout the day to know that through your forgiveness, there is peace, there's light, and there is love. Right now, there is a fluffy gray creature reacting to the meowing of Astro, Lynn's cat. All beings, beloveds, cats, dogs, and birds, they're all an extension of yourself that you have created to join you in this journey. Allow yourself, beloveds, to love all beings and start with yourself. Our blessings are with you always, dear ones. Our love is with you always. Our light is with you always. And when you need, beloved ones, call upon us to be reminded. Call upon us to be upon this journey with you. Allow us to help you illumine your way back home. All blessings to you, beloved brothers and sisters. And we will speak with you again. That was super nice. Thanks for joining me tonight as I read my lessons for tomorrow. Thank you, Chad. Thank you, CWC Welding and Fabrication and Repair. Thank you, Iris Pink Flower. I'm glad that you made it. I'm glad you found it. And I'm glad you're here. Gel 2010, I get you. And thank you, Chad, again. So much love. Sweet dreams, everyone.